Blake Production.
What is poppin'? Okay, we're looking at Riot platforms here. I love the setup. I want to get into some of the details on why I think, Riot might be worth a $30 stock in the coming weeks and months. And I want to get into my thesis on why that could be a potential, right? Miners are going to have their day. And I think people are going to start to wake up to that in the coming weeks. I think it's important to also highlight like how kind of serious Bitcoin and the crypto sector is right now. I think it's kind of wild. Think about it, like Trump kind of, confirmed that there's going to be something like a $15 trillion reserve. He said something crazy. There's going to be a massive Bitcoin reserve in the US. And I think people are really underestimating the potential of that. Like what could happen to if, day one day one of Trump's inauguration, or not, however you pronounce that word. What happens if they just market buy insane amount of Bitcoin? How do you think that's going to affect equities, miners, anything crypto and Bitcoin related, right? I also think it's important to highlight before I get into the technicals here. It's kind of interesting. Like it's the first time that we're seeing companies really come out and promote the Bitcoin standard, right? You have MicroStrategy that's been doing it for the past since 2020, right? Maybe a little bit before that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're starting to see Riot do that as well. You're starting to see Semler Scientific do that as well. And there's a few other companies, and there's going to be more, and countries too. There's going to be more that are starting to promote this. And I think that's going to create an effect that, Bitcoin is a lot more serious than, magic internet money. And I think that, the cascading effect of how that's going to like impact miners is so overlooked right now. And that's kind of the premise and my thought process of why I think miners are going to have their day. Riot's one of them. So let's get into it. What we're looking at here, these periods of, sharp upside, right? There's two of them in this time frame here from 2020 up until now, right? So the 2020 bull market, look at the period of consolidation here, right? Look how sharp it is, right? Such a strong move to the upside. And we have this slow but steady downtrend that pretty much erases, what was it, 90 something percent? Yeah, like 95% of stock value, right? So again, highest it was around 75, and it went to as low as $3, right? After this period of time from $3, it rallies up into $19, right? And this happens in like 6 or 7 months from January 2023 to July, right? Now, after this, Bitcoin is still, of course, performing really well from the past couple of years, right? 2023, 2024, Bitcoin is performing well, but miners kind of stagnated there, right? But how it stagnates, how it consolidated over that period of time is, I think, very bullish. Very structured formation, clear support and resistance. And what we're seeing now is, I think, we're getting a lot closer to like this apex of this channel that we've created, right? So what's going to come from that? Like, again, all the news that's going to be coming out. You add the fact that Riot's on the Bitcoin standard. What if a lot of the miners run? You don't think Riot's going to be one of them, right? What happens if there's like a crypto miner, that sort of niche sector of the market starts to get a lot of money allocated to it, right? If you're thinking that the crypto space is going to grow from whatever 3 trillion to 10 trillion, you're telling me miners aren't going to be affected by that? You know what I mean? It's time to think bigger, right? So all of these add up to this technical pattern also being in play, right? We're at the apex of this channel on the weekly time frame, right? Throughout this period of time, look at this volume, accumulation volume patterns happening here, right? Massive amounts of volume coming in around this area specifically. Now, when we look at the volume profile is telling us that above this range, this is like you can call your point of control right around $11. We're well above that now at around 14. But overall, what this is telling me is that above this price, above call it $18, there's nothing much in terms of resistance above here. So we could see some of these stocks run drastically, right? So be on the lookout for Riot and for that happening with Riot as well. Now let's zoom in here on the 2-day time frame. We'll go to the 21 EMA. And again, you could still see it's very structured. We have this channel, but something I want to kind of, point out is look how we're coiling above this range, right? In this apex circle here. What we see is we have this from support, we curl to the upside, right? You have this strong curl to the upside, and we create this like bullish pennant kind of pattern. And it looks like we're starting to break out of that, right? So we have this bullish pennant kind of pattern developing right on the 21 EMA. Look at the volume coming in here, right? The volume's getting serious. This to me is indicating we could see in the short term a $20 Riot, and kind of the medium term something in the $20 to $30 range potentially, depending how wild things get. But that's kind of my outlook, right? We're looking at this bullish pennant that's developing at the apex of this channel. And it's kind of hinting towards, it's time to break out of this period of consolidation. So we might be looking at something, right? We had something like this, right? If we clone this and look here where we have something like that, right? Even to the middle of this range, like into like an average value of something like this, maybe. I think that's very possible and probably likely to happen in this like kind of bullish crypto environment. So that's the breakdown. That's my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.